Apollo program was designed to get 2 Americans to the lunar surface and back again to Earth safely. The enormity of this event is something that only history will be able to judge.
Blimey. 50 years ago was the first time that mankind landed on the moon. It feels like it should have been so much longer ago, you know? That after 50 years, after what's easily the epitome of human achievement, that we should have explored the rest of the universe. Instead, humans haven't made it onto a celestial body further than the moon since, and even then, the last time that we were there was 1972. As you can probably tell with that introduction, I am all about space travel. I think we should be doing more of it, funding it more extensively, and talking about it more often. So I was clearly going to be more predisposed to liking the Apollo 11 documentary with its mere concept alone. Essentially a documentary with zero interviews or interluding contemporary footage. Instead, director Todd Douglas Miller has assembled a tight 90-minute feature based on archive material from newly restored 70mm footage of the Apollo 11 launch and recovery, internal NASA archive footage, CCTV feeds, and still photography. The result is a hugely immersive piece of film that should be seen on either the biggest cinema screen possible or at least bought on Blu-ray if you have a terrific sound system. What we have is a film that starts with astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins suiting up, about to board Apollo 11, and within 20 minutes we have the craft launching, and then we have a truncated version of the trip to the moon and the trip back from the perspective of the astronauts themselves and mission control. It's a tightly edited and polished piece of work, which trims down the 8-day trip into a digestible, though hardly comprehensive thriller and piece of living history. As part of the process, the production team listened to over a year's worth of archived audio material to put this thing together. Those who are immersed in the history of Apollo 11 or the media that has been inspired by it, like 2018's First Man or Gene Kranz's autobiography Failure Is Not an Option, might not get much out of Apollo 11 on a thematic or in an educational sense, but as a sensory experience, it's absolutely spellbinding. The 70mm footage, the lengthy takes of the spacecraft launching past the Earth's atmosphere or the lunar module making its slow descent onto the moon are gripping pieces of archive footage, and the music by Matt Morton better be receiving an Oscar nomination next year. Even smaller touches in the selection of footage reminds us of the human factor behind the Apollo 11 mission, with NASA scientists and operators not being media trained in any way, so they awkwardly look at the camera lens, or look at the lens and then look at the operator behind it. And some people just endearingly move themselves around the camera, which helps to remind viewers that despite the insane achievement of the mission in 1969, this was done by people. They cheer and laugh and celebrate when things go well, they get scared when things start to go wrong or not according to plan, and we see all of this on display in the footage. It really humanizes the minds behind the mission, especially after the lunar landing has taken place, because while there are big celebrations, scientific tests are done, and a phone call from the White House, they've still got to get back home. The human factor is at the forefront in this documentary. It's not a perfect piece of film. A couple of times you get white text displayed on a white background, which is just, that's kind of baffling. And also, while the film is a breezy viewing experience at barely over 90 minutes, some elements like the lunar module almost landing in a crater on the way down is hugely truncated and understated. But remember, I adore space travel, so I'm already pretty immersed in this story to begin with. So as a standalone documentary experience and a piece of history being restored and preserved for the big screen, I give Apollo 11 an unreserved recommendation if you're able to catch a screening of it, and I give the movie 4 stars out of 5. Yeah, this review ran a little bit short, which is good for me because I've been working like all week and I've been so busy, but just so that you folks get your clicks worth, here's footage of Buzz Aldrin punching a moon landing denier square in the jaw, set to the music of Justin Hurwitz from First Man.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Trilbee.